I'm DJ Mad Linx from ESPN Tennis.
Darrell Jazz Johnson here with DJ Matt Linx. First, we know you've been covering the U.S. Open since 2020, I believe. Talk about, reflect on last year's U.S. Open. You were here covering it for ESPN for Serena's final match.
All the energy in the world seemingly pointed right here to Queens, New York for what was going to ultimately be Serena Williams' last tournament. And everybody wanted to have said that they were here to witness the end of an era. And like no one else, she puts on a show even when she is not there. So on the outside, there were people who were covering from media outlets from all across the world, just even outside at the Fountain Square. We'd never seen anything remotely close to this. But that's exactly the Serena effect, and that's exactly what we saw.
And that is definitely the send-off that she deserved. Let's go to this year's tournament. Already, Coco Gauff is in the quarterfinals. She'll play next on Tuesday. Talk about what you've seen from Coco so far this year.
Coco's had an amazing summer after a disappointing Wimbledon. Went back, retooled, ended up adding a dear friend of mine, Brad Gilbert, also from ESPN Tennis in Washington, D.C. Ended up winning that tournament. Lost to Jess Pegula in Toronto. Rebounded right away and won the Cincinnati for her first 500 and 1,000 level matches or tournaments, respectively.
What chance would you give Coco of winning it all?
I give Coco a great chance. Her level of composure, she's been here, she's done it before. She's a French Open finalist. Now she has all the momentum at her home soil tournament, and it's looking very, very good for her. She's been able to withstand some onslaughts, some tough matches, some three-setters, but she still perseveres. Went against Caroline Wozniacki, extremely impressive how she dealt with that, and it just seems like she's really primed to really raise that trophy on the last day of the tournament. She's going to be tough to beat.
Before we move to the men's side, Madison Keys is in the fourth round. She will play Jessica Pegula tomorrow. What do you think Madison's chances are of winning tomorrow?
I give her a strong chance. She has been striking the ball extremely well. I would hazard to say probably potentially even a little bit better than when she made her final run here back in 17. And for her to be able to do that and the way she's moving these days, with the ball striking ability off of both wings and the power that she's hitting it with, she's going to be a tough competitor no matter who she plays.
And we saw two big wins by Frances Tiafoe today, and the son of NCAA tennis coaching champion
Brian
Shelton. Ben Shelton, his son, won today, upset Tommy Paul. Those two play in the quarterfinal round. Who would you give the edge? Well, first, talk about Shelton's big upset. Talk about Tiafoe's performance here, and then tell me how that matchup on Tuesday shapes up.
Well, Ben Shelton's appearance at this year's Australian Open was very impressive, but you could see that he was running out of gas, ultimately against that quarterfinal with Tommy Paul. And the nuance of playing a Grand Slam is the slams are the only place where you now play best 3 or 5. So for the younger players, it's going to be a bit of a challenge in order to come into a slam if you're not accustomed to playing that. You have to be able to manage your emotions. You have to manage your energy. You have to manage so many different things as you're playing an entire, potentially extra 2 sets. Ben was exposed that in his naivete about playing in slams. This year at the U.S. Open, a mere 8-9 months later, what you're seeing from him is highly impressive. Being able to come back against Tommy Paul, as Tommy was the favorite for that match. So to be able to do that, go up 2 sets, took his foot off the gas a little bit in the third, stumbled a little, came back and proceeded to win it in 4 was highly, highly impressive. So, really a lot of credit going out to his team, his father, and himself for really having the mettle to stay with it and pull off that win. So Ben is going to be a highly formidable opponent against whoever he's playing this year.
And he's playing Francis Tiafoe on Tuesday. Talk about Tiafoe's tournament thus far.
Well, I will first say that would have been a final that America would have loved to have instead of a quarter, but the draw is the draw. So Francis has had an amazing 12 months after making the semifinals here, taking the eventual champion 5 sets. He's won 2 tournaments this year, a lot of great results. He's clearly a much more refined, intelligent, all-around better player than he was 18 to 24 months ago. Better in every way. And you're getting a chance to see it now with so many of the results. When he is favored, he is many times now pulling off the matches that he is supposed to be winning. And he's only continuing to get better. He's looking very strong so far at this year's U.S. Open. So it's going to be all fireworks when Ben Shelton and Francis Tiafoe take that court for that quarterfinal. And I don't think anybody should want to miss a moment of it.
Final question. Who would you favor going into that match on Tuesday?
Because of the experience, I'm going to give Francis the edge. Ben has a huge lefty serve. He has great power off the ground. At times, though, because of his youth, he can sometimes go for the wrong shot at the wrong time and not have the maturity at right this moment to sometimes take a little bit off, work himself back into the point. But that's coming. You can start to see it already forming. But again, it's just a matter of youth and experience. So he will ultimately be playing differently even 12 months from now. But for this particular match, I'm going to give Big Foe a slight edge.
We're going to let you get back to work, but thank you for your time, DJ Matt Linx, ESPN.
Cheers.